Today we're going to be taking all of my Jurassic World Dominion figures and we're going to be putting them from biggest over here all the way to smallest down here. This figure right here is the largest Dominion figure that I have. This is the Dreadnoughtus figure and it is super long. It's probably 3 or 4 feet in length, but it still has some really cool features. You can even open and close the mouth and twist the head around too. So let's put this dinosaur on the very far left as the biggest dinosaur. Let's see, what Super Colossal figure is next? It's a tough call, but I think the Giganotosaurus might be the next largest. This figure is huge, has a classic green coloring, the awesome super sharp spine, and the really cool teeth. These are pretty unique. Let's set this Super Colossal Giganotosaurus down right next to the Dreadnoughtus figure. These are our 2 largest figures. Next up has got to be our Super Colossal T-Rex with the new brown and black coloring. You won't see this on older Jurassic World figurines. This one is super cool. Let's put this right next to our giant Giganotosaurus figure. Next is this awesome Atrociraptor figure. This one is the white with 2 different tones of brown striping along its back and sides. And unlike the other Super Colossal figures we've seen so far, the teeth are actually fully inside the mouth compared to the other figures we've seen so far where the teeth are on kind of like the outside of the mouth. All right, there we go. Let's move on to the next biggest, which is this tall Brachiosaurus figure from Jurassic World Dominion. Let me stand it up. Now this dinosaur is a lot taller than these other dinosaurs right here, but its body is a bit smaller and it's just shorter in size overall, so that's why I'm putting it over here. But it's got some pretty cool detailing, the blue coloring around its head. And next up in size is this giant Apatosaurus figure. Check out the size difference between this one and the Brachiosaurus over here. It's a little bit shorter, it's still standing on all 4 legs, and it has a really long neck. But instead of going up super tall like that one, this one kind of sticks out forwards more. All right, now we're moving on to our slightly smaller figurines. We're gonna start with this T-Rex, which has the identical coloring as the Super Colossal figure right over there. This is a really cool T-Rex. I like the features on this one, and this one has a ginormous head compared to older Jurassic World T-Rexes. Right over here, we've got the Hammond Collection Tyrannosaurus Rex figure. This one has some really cool orange-brown coloring. It has a lot more detail than many of the other Jurassic World T-Rexes. It even has marbled eyes. Check out all that texture. And these figures are super posable too, which is an awesome feature. Next, we've got this Thrashing Giganotosaurus figure in the same coloring as the Super Colossal figure over here. They look pretty similar. This one's quite a bit smaller, although it's still probably around a foot in length from tail to head. So let's set this down right next to the T-Rex figure. All right, what do we go with next here? I think next is this Allosaurus figure. This figure is a little bit smaller than the T-Rexes and the Giganotosaurus figure here, but it is a lot larger than a lot of my other Allosaurus figures. Plus it has a battle damage feature right on its side that you can open and close. Let's get this standing right next to the Giganotosaurus. The next up in size is the Therizinosaurus figurine, which was really cool in the Dominion movie. So we're gonna set this down right next to the Allosaurus figure. And check out those huge claws on its hand and the really long neck with the big face at the very top. We've got another herbivore dinosaur next in size here. This is the Stegosaurus with some pretty cool coloring. It's got the brown, some lighter tan, green, and then the clay red at the very top. All right, let's set it down next to the Therizinosaurus. Look at those spikes. They're a little bit taller than the Therizinosaurus, although if this was standing up all the way, it would definitely be a lot taller. Here is the Yangchuanosaurus figure. This, I don't think, was in the new Jurassic World Dominion movie, but it came out as part of the toy line. It's got some really cool coloring. It's got an action that lets you move the neck around in a lifelike way. And you know what? I think it is actually a little bit bigger than the Stegosaurus. So let's shift the Stegosaurus over and put this dinosaur right there. Next is a really interesting looking dinosaur. This is the Ankylosaurus. It's got the clay red coloring with the brown top, a super long neck, and it stands on 4 legs. Let's put this right next to the Stegosaurus figure. I can't quite tell which one is the next largest, but I'm gonna go with the Rajasaurus figure in the blue and gray coloring. And it's got that cool little spike right at the top of its head. Now let's set it right next to the Ankylosaurus. Let's see if it stands up. I think its legs are kind of broken, so that'll have to do. Here is the Sound Surge Giganotosaurus figure. Once again, it has pretty similar coloring as the Super Colossal figure right here, and this one comes with sound effects as well. It's pretty cool, so let's set this right next to the Rajasaurus figure. The next in size, I think, is this Pyroraptor figurine. This is the basic edition, but it still has the cool fiery red coloring and the black on its tail, on its legs, and a little bit on its head too. Let's set them down right here. And very close in size to the Pyroraptor is this basic Atrociraptor figure in the same coloring as the Super Colossal figure that we have back here. So let's go down all the way to the end and set them on the table. All right, now the figures are getting a little bit smaller. I think next up is the Megaraptor figure in the bright red and blue and a little bit of tan right along its face. And this figure is cool because it actually has an action when you press down on its back. It has a chomping action. Here is, I believe it's pronounced the Giganotosaurus. And a cool new feature that Mattel is putting on these toys is this little slide. It's like a thing that swings back and forth, and it actually swings their head back and forth and opens their mouth too, which is pretty cool. Now let's set it down right next to the Megaraptor. Next is the Hammond Collection Baryonyx figure. This one comes in the gray dark blue with the yellow striping. And like all the Hammond Collection figures, is super posable and really cool. Let's put this down right at the end. Here we've got another Hammond Collection figurine. This is the Parasaurolophus. It's got some pretty bright coloring and of course is super posable and adjustable as well. Next is the bright Ichthyovenator. It looks kind of like a Spinosaurus because it has the big spine on its back and a long and narrow snout, but it has a super bright and much larger tail and is a lot smaller than a Spinosaurus, I think. So let's go ahead and put this down right next to the Parasaurolophus. Here we've got a huge Sinoceratops figurine with some bright yellow coloring around its all black eyes and the yellow coloring right on its tail as well. And like many of these other figures, it has the action that when you press down on its back, it lifts up its head. Let's see, next up in size is this Triceratops figure in the green and brown coloring. Let's put this at the very end. Oh, you know what? It looks like we're out of space at the very end though. So let's create a new row in the front, right up here. We've got another Triceratops figure next, but this one is from the Hammond Collection. So compared to this other Triceratops figure right here, you can see that this one has a lot more detailing and differencing in the color, because this one basically has two different colors. This one kind of fades into all sorts of other different colors. And of course, is a lot more posable as well. Next up is the Iguanodon figurine in the tan and darker brown on top with the striping. Let's set down this Iguanodon right next to the Triceratops. Now we're down to the really small ones. So let's start with this brand new one that I bought. This is the Geniodectes Cirrus dinosaur. All right, this dinosaur is pretty brightly colored. It's got a dark gray body, but then it has this super bright coloring along its leg, its neck, its face, and the super bright red on top. And this is the Extreme Battle Damage edition, so you can click it open and closed with that button on the top. All right, let's put this Geniodectes down right next to the Iguanodon. We've got a few more Extreme Battle Damage dinosaurs right here that are the same size. This first one is a Velociraptor, and I've also got an Atrociraptor figure. And they both have that button on the top that activates the battle damage on both sides of its body. Let's set these down next in line. I've got a couple more Atrociraptor figures right here. These are the non-battle damage versions. I've got an orange one with the tan striping, and then of course the white with brown striping, just like the giant Super Colossal version. Let's get this first Atrociraptor down, and the second one. Here is another Pyroraptor. This is a pretty small figure, and this one actually has the extreme battle damage on the side as well. Check that out, it's pretty cool. It's got the same classic red and black coloring along its body. And let's set it down right next to the white Atrociraptor. This next figure, I believe, is called the Moros Intrepidus. It's got some pretty unique green and orange coloring. It's got the light green eyes, some pretty cool feathering and detailing all over its body. And let's set it down as the next smallest dinosaur. All right, now we're getting down to the real small dinosaurs. These are both Dimetrodons, and their spines make them look really tall, but actually their bodies are really short. This first brown Dimetrodon is a normal one, doesn't have any special features, so we'll put that next in line. But this other Dimetrodon actually has battle damage on the side, like many of these other small figures, which is pretty cool. So let's set that down right there. And here are our last two dinosaurs. We've got a Miragaia dinosaur with the huge spikes on the side, and we've also got a Therizinosaurus figure, which is really small, but still has the giant claws and the classic coloring. All right, let's set these down. Looks like we have just enough space. Welcome back to the Amazing Dinosaurs channel. Today we are checking out a huge collection of Jurassic World apex predators, meaning that they are at the top of the food chain. And I've actually got a brand new Tyrannosaurus Rex from the Jurassic World Legacy Collection that we're gonna open up first. Here is the brand new T-Rex and the baby T-Rex. I already have one of these T-Rexes, but I think this is the first of the green T-Rex that I have. So I'm super excited to check this one out. As you can see, most of its body is a dark green color. It's got the lighter underbelly, and it's got the black detailing right along the top. And it's about as adjustable as my other T-Rex figures. So you can move the ankles, you can move the legs into different positions, move the tail around, and then the neck you can also move around so it can look in different directions. And of course, there's the button at the top of its head for the chomping action. This is a really cool looking figure, and I'm sure that the T-Rex is one of the best known apex predators. Here we've got a dinosaur that you can't find in real life, but I'm sure it would be an apex predator if it was real. This is the Indominus Rex, and this is one of the big figures. You can see that it's pretty adjustable. You can move the legs into different positions, and that causes the dinosaur to look up and down. You can see it moves its neck back and forth like that. This figure also comes with the two action buttons, one for the chomping, and then one on the back for the slashing action. This is another T-Rex. This one is mostly brown. It's got the dark brown on the top, lighter brown on the sides, and then a tan on the bottom. And this T-Rex figure has a tearing action, actually. So when you press this button on its back, it tears just like that. And there's also a second action button that swings the tail back and forth. Here is a Carnotaurus with blue coloring on its body and the orange and brown detailing on the top. This also has one action button for chomping. Plus, you can adjust the arms and the legs and the tail as well. Next up, we've got two Endoraptors. And obviously, these dinosaurs aren't from real life, but if they were, I can guarantee you that they would be an apex predator. I just remember them from the Jurassic World movie. These were some of the most feared dinosaurs. This first Endoraptor is a more basic figure. You can only move the arms, the legs, and the tail, but you can't adjust the neck or open and close the mouth. But on this second Endoraptor figure, this one is super adjustable. It's got a bunch of points of articulation. Again, it's a double jointed tail. You can bend the knees, you can bend the ankles, you can adjust the arms fully, and you can open and close the mouth too. Right over here, we've got two Suchomimuses. This one is a blue with yellow detailing, and this one is yellow with brown detailing on the top. This one has two action buttons. one for chomping and one for the tail. This Suchomimus only has one action button that activates the jaw. Right up top here, we've got a smaller figure, but still a fearsome predator. This is a Baryonyx. Got the green sides and belly and the brown top. The arms and legs can articulate and move around, and there's an action button on its back for chomping. Back here, actually, we've got another Baryonyx. This one has a brown body and sides with a dark gray-blue coloring on the top and the bright orange detailing right on the top of its face. And just like the other figure, the legs and the arms can move too. Here is an older Jurassic World figure. You can see that this is another T-Rex. It's got the full tan body, and on its head it's got some gray detailing. It's got those yellow eyes and an action button on its back to activate the jaw. Here we've got a newer figure from the Jurassic World Dominion series. This is a Giganotosaurus. It's got the green body, a lighter yellow underbelly. It's got some brown detailing along the top, and then that bright orange piece right on its head. This figure is pretty adjustable with its arms and its legs. You can see that moving the legs dips its head down like that. And the tail controls the jaw and can move the neck around too. Back here is another newer figure from the Jurassic World Dominion series. This is a Scorpiovenator. This figure has an orange belly and sides. It's got some white detailing right along the top and a dark gray-blue color right along the top of its head. This figure is fairly adjustable. You can move the arms and the legs, and when you push down on its legs, it does a chomping action. This one is another T-Rex. This T-Rex, though, is the Battle Damage Edition. It's got the button on top that you can use to turn on and off the battle damage, which is a pretty awesome feature. This figure is pretty adjustable, too. You can move the ankles, can move the legs up and down. The tail only has one joint in it, though. But the neck of this T-Rex is really adjustable. You can have him look in all directions, and you can open and close its mouth really easily. This is a Carnotaurus figure. It's got the clay red body with the darker detailing spots on the sides and the brown right along the top. You can see that the Carnotaurus has a lot of bumps and ridges in that spine right there as well. And with this figure, the tail controls the head, and there's a button as well to open and close its mouth. Here's another newer figure from the Jurassic World Dominion series, and I think this is one of my favorite newest dinosaur figures. This is the Rajasaurus. This figure also has a chomping action when you press down on the legs, and you can adjust its arms, its legs, and even twist its tail around a little bit. I love this dinosaur's head. You've got the horn right at the top, and you've got this really cool, smaller spine right on its neck, these spikes. It's really cool. Here we have another very well-known apex predator. This is a Velociraptor. This specific one is actually Velociraptor Charlie from the Amber collection. So this figure is very adjustable, can move all the different parts of its arms and legs, and you can adjust its head quite a bit as well too. And it's even got this headpiece right behind its face too. This is another ginormous T-Rex, and this T-Rex is pretty adjustable as well. As you can see, you can move the arms up and down, you can adjust the leg position, and instead of moving the neck and face up here, you actually can control it with the tail by swiveling it. This is another Velociraptor from the Amber collection. This one is Velociraptor Echo. This Velociraptor has the light brown coloring as well as the dark black right on top. And just like the other Amber collection Velociraptor, it is very adjustable on all different parts of its body. You can even move the claws on its feet up and down. Back over here, we've got a smaller Indominus Rex figure. This is an older Jurassic World figure. It's got the battle damage on the side that you can open and close. And this figure is fairly adjustable as well. You can move the legs a little bit, you can move the arms just a bit, and the tail controls the mouth and the neck too. We've got a few more awesome looking Baryonyxes in here. This first one has a slide action for different roaring sound effects. And this Baryonyx doesn't have any buttons on it, but you can use the tail to move the head around. Right over here is a well-known predator from Jurassic World. Once again, it isn't a real dinosaur, but I can guarantee this would be an apex predator. This is the Scorpius Rex. This figure has 2 action buttons on its back, one for the mouth and one for the claws. And the rest of the figure is pretty adjustable too. You can move the legs quite a bit, and you can adjust the neck to have it look around. And the tail is spring-loaded too, so you can fling the tail back and forth with those poisonous quills. Back here is a huge water dinosaur that I'm sure you recognize from the first Jurassic World movie. This is the Mosasaurus. This figure is ginormous. It's got a dark blue body on the top and then a white underbelly. And all over its body you can actually see these like white specks, a little bit of detailing. And there's a few things that you can move on this figure. You can move the fins around, you can swivel the tail back and forth, and you can open and close the jaw, which is a pretty big jaw, I'd say. Probably fit a few small dinosaurs in there. Here's another popular apex predator. This is the Spinosaurus. Did you know that the Spinosaurus is the largest known carnivorous dinosaur that existed? These were even bigger than T-Rexes. This figure has an adjustable tail. The legs are pretty movable, as well as the ankles. You can move the arms up and down, and you can actually adjust the neck quite a bit as well too. Here is another awesome T-Rex predator. This looks to be very similar as the first T-Rex that I unboxed in this video, but with different coloring. See, it's got the brown body and the darker brown on top, and just like the other T-Rex, adjustable tail, you can move the legs and the arms, and you can move the head around too. Here's another dinosaur from the new Jurassic World Dominion movie. This is a Quetzalcoatlus. I didn't really know how big these dinosaurs were until I saw them in the new Jurassic World movie. These things were huge, and they took down that plane. This is a Ceratosaurus. I think we actually have another one with different coloring. This one is a dark green color with black detailing on the top, and this one is a light gray with red and a darker gray detailing on the top as well. And they both have that slide action button for different sound effects and different roars. I think the sound effects are the same though. This one's an interesting looking dinosaur. This is a Cryolophosaurus. Look at that interesting crowning on the top of its head. This Cryolophosaurus has a dark blue body with white, red, and bright orange detailing. And you can move the arms, you can move the legs, and you can use the tail to move the head around. Here is another mighty Carnotaurus, the red side and the dark, it's almost like a purple color on the top. This dinosaur has an adjustable tail and adjustable legs and arms, and there's a button on the top for the chomping action. Here's a species I don't think we've seen in this collection yet. This is an Allosaurus. It's got the dark green body with the red and white detailing. See, it's got those spikes right along its spines up top, and you can adjust the arms and the legs and the tail. And it's got the slide action button for different roars and chomps. This bright red dinosaur is a Metriacanthosaurus. It's a pretty interesting looking one. It's smaller than most of the other figures. It's got the bright orange detailing on the top of its head and the action button on its back for chomping. Next up, we've got, I believe, a Majungasaurus. This is a super colorful dinosaur. It's got the dark green, yellow, and blue on its neck. It's got those teal eyes. And like many of the other dinosaur figures, you can use the tail to move the head and neck around. This is an Albertosaurus with the battle damage edition. As you can see, it's got 2 different types of battle damage. One that's right there on the top of the plastic, and one that you can actually open up. This has the stomach and ribs that you can close down, and then the skin that you can do to cover all of the battle damage. That's pretty cool. The rest of the figure is pretty adjustable too. You can move the legs, arms, and tail, as well as the neck, and you can open and close the mouth manually. Over here is the Carcharodontosaurus with a blue body and orange and brown detailing. Look at all those spikes right along its spine too. It's interesting how they're all different heights. With this figure, you can move the arms, legs, and tail, and there's an action button on top for chomping. Here is another Allosaurus with different coloring and different actions too. Check out those spikes right along its spine. You can see the 2 action buttons right here, one for the mouth and one for the arms. And I think we actually have one more Allosaurus in here with different coloring. This one is gray with yellow detailing. You can only move the arms and legs in this figure, aside from the action button on its back that controls its mouth. Right over here is another Albertosaurus. This figure is about medium-sized, and it does not have any battle damage like the one we saw earlier, but it's still pretty adjustable. You can move the arms, the legs, and you can use the tail to control the face. Here is another Carnotaurus. This one is a newer figure from the Jurassic World Dominion series. As you can see, it's got the broken horn in the front, and this figure is smaller, but pretty adjustable. You can move the legs, the arms, twist the tail, and you can move the head and jaw around too. Here are a few small Dilophosaurus figures. This first one is mostly gray with red detailing and an action button on the tail that activates the frills. The second one is a bit more brightly colored. It has a green body and 2 different tones of orange, as well as the action button to activate the frills. And last but not least, we've got a bunch of smaller Velociraptor figures. Oh, actually, this is another baby T-Rex, just like we saw at the beginning of the video. But the rest of these figures are all Velociraptors, so let's check them out one by one. First, we've got the tan and brown Velociraptor. This one has a slashing action, spring-loaded torso, so it swings back and forth. This Velociraptor has a brown and yellow body with battle damage that you can open and close on the side. This next Velociraptor has a red and dark purple body, and you can move the arms, legs, and tail, as well as the mouth, but there's no special features on this figure. And these last 2 figures are similar in movement, but with different coloring. It's got the blue body with a yellow and gold coloring. This one has a dark brown color with orange on the top. Hello and welcome back to the Amazing Dinosaurs channel. I'm super excited to be here with you today. Today we are unboxing this giant bin of dinosaur toys. We've got some new Camp Cretaceous, we've got some new Jurassic World, we've got some King Kong and Godzilla further down in the bin, and so much more. I'm super excited to unbox these with you. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so first up, let's go ahead and unbox this Camp Cretaceous figure right here. We got a Scorpius Rex from the Camp Cretaceous. Let's check it out. Wow, so this is a pretty sizable figure, I will say. This is larger than a lot of the ones that we have. All right, so there's 2 buttons on the top up here. Oh, that's the first one. Check it out. This top button, when you press it, watch what happens. Let's see. Nice, so his mouth opens up, reveals his teeth, and the sound effect of his roar. Very cool. Let's check out the second button here. So when you press this button, let's see, is that the slashing action? Oh yeah. And it's got a sound effect for that too. That's pretty vicious. Wow, this thing is ginormous. And let's check out the tail too. We've got the tail here with the slashing action too. You wouldn't want to be in the way of that tail. That thing would hurt so much. Wow, all right. You'll want to stay out of the way of this one, that's for sure. All right, let's move on to the next dinosaur. All right, next up, let's do the Jurassic World Tyrannosaurus Rex. Let's check it out. All right, yeah, see, this is cool. You don't see this too often. It's a plastic dino throughout most of it, but the tail is rubber, giving it a much more lifelike feel. And it swivels up and down like that. You can already hear those stomp sound effects. Let's hear some more. Very cool. Let's check out this chomping action too. So when you lift them up like this, it locks into place, and then you move the tail upwards, and he comes chomping down. Wow, that's cool. Very cool. And even his neck right here is kind of like rubber too. You can see it kind of like swivels back and forth. Very cool. I'm super excited to add this to our collection. All right, let's move on to the next dinosaur. Okay, let's check out the Camp Cretaceous Tyrannosaurus Rex, Epic Roarin'. All right, here we go. Wow, look at that. And look at that darker stripe along its back, and then the lighter sides. It's got a lighter belly. It's like, I don't know if that's tan or yellow. Let's check out these action moves. So you've got the button on the tail right there. You can already hear the roaring right there. And then the swivel action. So the tail twists back and forth and a little bit up and down. And as you're doing that, it twists the head at the same time. That's really cool, because then it gives it a super realistic look. If you're like playing with the dinos, you don't have to have your hand up here. You can have it way back here, and it looks super realistic. That's really cool. And let's try out the button too. Let's see how the roar looks. Whoa, that's cool. It's got like some shaking action too when you press the button. When it roars, there's like a battery inside that makes the head roar back and forth while it's roaring. Let's try that out again. And even look inside the mouth, like with the teeth and this tongue right there. Look at that, it's like wiggling back and forth, so when it shakes, the tongue shakes too. That's pretty cool. That's an attention to detail that I really appreciate. I definitely am enjoying the swiveling head with the tail. That gives it such a cool look, that your hands don't have to be close to the head to make it move. Very cool. Let's check out the next dinosaur. All right, and over here we've got the Jurassic World Tyrannosaurus Rex. Wow, another Tyrannosaurus Rex. We're really on a roll today. All right, let's check it out here. So it's got kind of the same coloring as the other one. You can see the darker top and then the lighter sides, and then the even lighter, like a yellow tan belly and underside. You've got these massive claws once again. So the tail is actually jointed in multiple spots. I bet that's for when you press the button, it really gives it a good swing. Let's try out the tail first. Wow, look at that swing. And it goes all the way to the side and all the way back. It's spring-loaded, so you can just keep doing this all day. No batteries required. Very cool. And let's see that chomp action with its face too. You ready? Here we go. Ooh, okay. Twist to the side. It closes its mouth and rips it off. Wow, that's really cool. That's a gnarly attack. When it's attacking another dinosaur and it's right there, it would grab it and twist it to the side in its attack. That's very vicious. And look at the teeth on this one too. That is a massive set of teeth. Got the yellow eyes. Very cool. I'm liking this one too. All right, let's move on to the next dinosaur. Next up is a smaller dinosaur here. This is the Monolophosaurus. It has a savage strike from the Camp Cretaceous series. It's pretty cool. All right, so here it is. This is interesting coloring. Look at that. It's got a lighter gold coloring on the top, and then the green sides and a green bottom. Its legs move. It's got those huge claws, and its arms move too. They're pretty small. And then look at its face. It's got interesting coloring. It's like a mixture of the red and then the yellow that's also on its back as well. Let's check out that chomping action. Here we go with the tail. Very cool. I'm liking that. It's a smaller dinosaur, but I like that it still has an action that you can do with the toy. Very cool. All right, let's move on to the next dinosaur. All right, and our other new dinosaur here, we've got the Diplodocus. Check this out. It's an interesting, like, semi-flexible rubber feeling. The neck is a little bit flexible too. And check out the coloring. You've got this like red-brown, and then you've got these stripes of green all the way up the neck too. Check that out. Then got a little bit of yellow on the underbelly and on the legs as well. This is very cool. There are no moving parts in this one. There's no buttons or anything, but it is somewhat movable. It does have a pretty lifelike feel, I think. Let's check out that face. That's kind of a cute face, you know? Look at those eyes right there. This is pretty cool. This is I believe it's a pretty massive dinosaur in real life, the actual size. But this is a very cool model of a dinosaur to have. All right, let's go ahead and check out all these other dinosaurs. Welcome everyone back to my dinosaur channel. Recently, I just bought a bunch of new dinosaur figurines, so today we're gonna be unboxing all of them. Let's get started. First up is this Tyrannosaurus Rex escape pack. Let's go ahead and open it up. And you attach the tail to the body just by clicking it in, I think. There we go. That was actually really easy. That was easier than I expected. So let's check out this T-Rex. It's got the moving tail, obviously. It's got adjustable legs, adjustable arms, and for the head, we've got this button on the top that'll open its mouth. Look at that, it's got the tongue, all those teeth right there. This is a pretty cool T-Rex. Next, let's check out the car that came in the pack. So let's go ahead and get this car out. These little twisty things on the bottom. I just love this coloring. Look at the yellow and it fades into the green and the red. That is the classic Jurassic Park look. All the doors open, front and back, so you can fit some of your favorite action figures in here. This is super neat. This might be one of my favorite dinosaur cars that I have in my collection. Let's check out the human that came in this set. So we can see it's a little child there, and then it also comes with the night vision goggles. Let's go ahead and get those night vision goggles on the kid. All right, check it out. Let's go ahead and get him seated in the car, right here in the front seat. And along comes the T-Rex. So just like in the movie, you can press down on the glass on the top here and try to break in and eat the person that's inside. This is really cool, and I really like that they released a classic looking car like this too. Next up, we've got this huge Apatosaurus figurine. Look how big this figurine is once you put it together. And this is from the new Jurassic World Legacy Collection. And as you can see, we've already opened up the box and taken it out. So let me show you the fully built figure. Bam, here we go. Look at the size of this thing. This is huge. Its mouth opens and closes. Look at that detail. Even its teeth are painted properly. That looks really good. The head swivels and moves. And you can see right here that the neck moves side to side. The legs are fully functional as well. And finally, the tail too. All in all, this dinosaur is huge. It's probably from tail to the head, it might be 3 or 4 feet long. Well, I guess the box said 41 inches, so there you have it right there. That's how big it is. But this one is huge. I really like this one. Oh, here's one of my favorite ocean predators right here. This is the Mosasaurus. Let's go ahead and open this up and check it out fully put together. All right, so we've got the main body right here. The mouth already attached. Here's the tail. Let's go ahead and attach the tail, and it just clicks right in. And then in the box also comes the 4 fins. Let's click this first one in, and the second one, third right here, and the 4th one. Here is the great Mosasaurus. This one is super long too. Maybe 3 feet long, 2 or 3 feet long. It's got all the individual teeth on the front. Could probably fit some dinosaurs in its mouth too. And the movable fins and the tail as well. And we do have some other Mosasaurus figurines in my collection, but I do notice that this one that I just bought, it's like a darker colored blue or like a purple than the other Mosasauruses that I have. So I am super excited to add this one to my dinosaur collection. Let's move on. The next one we're looking at is the Pentaceratops from the Jurassic World Dino Escape series, and this is part of the Mega Destroyers. We'll take the dinosaur out, and over here is the cage to trap the dinosaur's head. Now we're going to take the face cage thing and we're going to put it on the Pentosaurus. All right, got it on now. So you can see that the Pentosaurus is trapped inside the cage. It can't really attack anyone or really move around that easily. But like we saw in the box, this has a breakout function. So see these two buttons on the back right here? The front one is gonna make it shake and break free. Let's check it out. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Wow, that was awesome. It broke free so easily. And the second button here, let's see what that does. Oh, so it twists from side to side when you press that button. And look at the size of the bony frill on this Pentosaurus. That is much larger than you'd see on a Triceratops. And of course it's got the horns up front here and on top as well. This is a ferocious looking dinosaur. We wouldn't want to mess with this one in the wild. Next up, we've got this multi-pack right here. Let me take off the plastic. This is the Ultimate Baryonyx Breakout Battle Damage Edition. Let's open it up and check it out. First, let's check out the Baryonyx. So we've got the body right here and the tail's right up here. Let's grab that as well. Okay, let's put the tail on the dinosaur. Clicks right in. Let's see, so this figure has one action button on it, a button right here, and it looks like that one opens and shuts the mouth. And there are no batteries required for this one, so it has no sound effects or anything like that. You can see that it's got that battle damage right there on its neck, and even a little bit on its leg as well. And in the rest of the pack, you can see we've got Owen and his motorcycle right there. And look at all these accessories. He's got a helmet, he's got body armor. Is that I think that's a radio pack of some sort maybe? And he's got some weapons right there. And let's take a look at the figure itself. So it's a fully adjustable body. You can see that its legs can bend, its arms can bend, even at the elbows as well. Its face can swivel, and on the motorcycle, the wheels spin, and it's even got a kickstand that you can put up and down. Look how tiny it is. This is a pretty cool pack. It comes with quite a few different pieces, so you have your own little dinosaur setup right here. So yeah, this one is pretty cool. I would recommend checking out this pack. All right, let's keep unboxing these new dinosaurs. Next up, we've got the Carnotaurus, also from the Jurassic World Dino Escape toy line. This is also a Mega Destroyer. All right, so before we put on the cage, let's check it out. Look at the coloring on this. So it's mostly blue, and then it's got the orange on the top, but it's like speckled with that brown. And then it's got that one line of spikes along its back. Let's check out the action button right here. Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna be able to break free from the cage we've got. Let's go ahead and put this on the dinosaur. Wow, that was pretty easy. All right, here we go. It's gonna break free from the cage. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Break free, come on, you can do it. All right, and there you go. This is a very neat dinosaur. Let's move on to our next one. All right, look at how many we still have in here. There's still tons more to go. Let's check out this Kentrosaurus next. Let's go ahead and put on those spikes on its sides. All right, so we've got the spikes out of the packaging. Look at the size of these spikes. So these spikes are gonna go right into the side right here. And it clicks right in there. Wow, look at that. And on the other side. And finally, the tail. And it clicks right into the back. And there we go. Check out the spikes all over its body. Look at these shoulder spikes, like I was saying. Those are probably used for defense, as well as the spikes on its tail. The ginormous spikes, look at that. And we've got an action button up top here. Let's try it out and see what happens. That's pretty cool. So when you press the button, the front swivels side to side, and I bet those spikes will probably hit whoever is standing in the way when it does that. This is pretty neat. I'm liking this one. Let's check out our next dinosaur. Next up, we've got this Tyrannosaurus pack. Let's go ahead and open this one up. Sure enough, I'm pretty sure that's a baby Tyrannosaurus. But if you guys know whether it's an adult or a baby, let me know in the comments below. First, let's check out these little dinosaurs. They all look pretty identical. All of them got this green color. Plus, their mouths do open and close as well. Look at that, even how small they are. And here's the T-Rex. And this one is very adjustable. Look at that. Can adjust the ankle, at the knee, and swivel all around. The jaw will open and shut too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this one is a baby dinosaur. It looks so small and cute. Look at that. And it came with what looks like, I don't know if those are bandages or something, but I think we put this on the T-Rex. And this one too. So it looks like this bandage goes onto the leg of the T-Rex right here. It straps on, we just did surgery on it, so you gotta protect that wound. And then this is a muzzle. It goes right on the jaw right there. So now it can't bite anyone. Very cool. All right, let's move on to our next dinosaur. All right, which one should we choose next? Oh, you know what? I was super excited about this one. This isn't a dinosaur, but it's a replica of a Spinosaurus tooth. Look at the size of that. Let's open it up. Wow, look at the size of that tooth. That's like 3 or 4 inches long, or even longer. And this replica here is very detailed. It's got cracks all over, and the painting is like black on the top. This is very cool. This will look great on one of my shelves. All right, let's keep going. Here's another one. This is the Ceratosaurus. There we go. All right, so we've got the body right here, and then the tail. It's tucked away inside the box. Let's get that out too. And let's attach the tail to the body. Clicks right in. There we go. All right, here is the Ceratosaurus. And we've got this action button on top. Let's try that out. Very interesting. So it's actually a few different buttons in one. So the more you slide it up, the more it opens its mouth. Very cool. And check out the horn right on the nose. This dinosaur is awesome. All right, let's check out our next dinosaur. All right, here we go with our next dinosaur. Let's get it out of the bag. All right, check this out. This looks like a Mosasaurus, and it could be, I'm not entirely sure, but I will say, look at the spikes on the back. Those are some really sharp spikes. I mean, they won't hurt me if I poke, but in real life, those would hurt a lot, I think. Very cool. Let's go with this one right here. Wow, check this one out. This is a Spinosaurus. Check it out. There's that huge spine on its back. Its mouth opens and closes. This one is a little bit smaller than our other Spinosaurus figures, but I will say this one has a bit more detail with the painting. And look at those teeth right there. Those are some mean teeth. Did you know that Spinosauruses actually did a lot of hunting in the water? I didn't know that before, but I recently found that out. This is very cool. Let's check out our other dinosaurs. I see another cool looking one right here. All right, this is an Endoraptor, but it looks a bit different than the other ones that I have because look at this orange coloring on the side. That is unique to this Endoraptor. I haven't seen that before. And this one is more like a model because the arms and legs don't move. So it's in this like crawling pose right here. But that is pretty neat. I like this one. All right, and in this bag, oh, look at that. This is an Indominus Rex. And this one is also more like a model figure. The arms and legs don't move, but this one has great detail as well. Look at that on its side. Look at the spikes on its back and on its teeth, its tongue. Huge attention to detail, which is really cool. And next up, looks like we've got a 3-pack of, it says pterodactyls. Let's take a look. So we've got our first one here. And our second pterodactyl. This has different coloring and is a bit bigger. Look at the back too. And the third one. Although, this is a very different looking pterodactyl. Do you know if this is a pterodactyl? Why don't you let me know in the comments below. Is this a pterodactyl or is this a different type of flying dinosaur? That was super exciting unboxing all these dinosaurs. Thanks for joining, and I'll see you next time. Be sure to subscribe. Hello and welcome back to the Amazing Dinosaurs channel. Today we are checking out a huge bucket full of Camp Cretaceous, Jurassic World, and Jurassic Park figures. And I've even got some brand new dinosaurs here. Check this one out. This is the Scorpius Rex. Let's go ahead and open it up. The great Scorpius Rex. Let's see what kind of actions this toy can do. Let's see. It's got a button up here. Let's see what this does. All right, so it's got a roaring action and then a second button. Let's see what that does. Oh, right on. It's a slashing action. So we've got a bite and roar action and the slashing action. Also, check out the spikes on the back of this dinosaur. I believe that these spikes are actually poisonous, so they can be used when they're fighting another dinosaur. And we've got two more brand new dinosaur toys to check out. Let's go ahead and open up the Owen Grady figure. All right, so here is Owen Grady. He is fully adjustable, can bend his legs, his knees, his arms, even his torso too. And it comes with this cool little stand that you can stand him on, so you can display him on your shelf. Just like that. All right, very cool. I'm gonna add him to my collection on the shelf. And our last brand new dinosaur, we got a good old Velociraptor. Let's see what it can do. So its arms are movable, and it looks like his torso twists back and forth too. That must be its slashing action. Look at those claws right there. All right, let's dig into our giant bin. First up, we've got this giant custom colored Indominus Rex. Look at the coloring on that. This is one of the brightest dinosaurs I have, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And it's got a button up here, so you can slash with its claws. Next up, we've got, look at this. I think this is a hybrid T-Rex. So it looks mostly like a T-Rex, but then you notice it's got these spines on its back that you can actually push in, and then pressing the button right here, you can have it pop out, just like that. Over here, we've got one of my favorites, the T-Rex with battle damage. And this T-Rex is fully posable, so you can actually keep his mouth open. So if you want to like display him in a certain pose, you can do that with this T-Rex. which I really like. We've got some really brightly colored dinosaurs in here too. Look at this. This must be some type of hybrid Dilophosaurus. This is a super bright dinosaur. Look at that neon green and yellow coloring, and then that bright orange coloring on its back, and then these huge, I don't know if they're wings or frills or what they are. Those are really scary looking though. Over here is another giant T-Rex, and the coloring on this one is super realistic, and the texture too. Look how detailed that is. That looks like real skin. And then of course, some massive teeth. What dinosaur is this? Oh, I think I know what it is. It is a Spinosaurus, and this one has really cool coloring. Look at that blue on the top of its spine right there. I don't see any blue on the rest of its body, so that's pretty special. And it's got some green eyes, look at that. And some huge, nasty teeth in its mouth. Wow, this is a huge, scary dinosaur. And the claws too, look at those claws. Those are ginormous. Let's keep digging. Let's go with this one right here. Oh, this is a loud dinosaur. This is a Carnotaurus, and he's ready for a fight. Check out those horns on the top of its head, and it's even got like tiny little spikes all along its back too. I've got a question for you. Who do you think would win in a fight? A T-Rex, like this guy, or a Carnotaurus? Comment below, who do you think would win? And on this T-Rex too, it's got some unique functions. So first, you can pose him like that, and then when you hit the tail, he slams downward with his jaws as if he's about to bite something. That is amazing. I really like the coloring on this. Oh, what's that we have here? I actually don't know what kind of dinosaur this is. Do you know what kind? Comment below and let me know. This is a super brightly colored one though. It might be a hybrid of some sort maybe. I'm not sure. Look at that red on its face though. And the yellow stripes. That is really amazing. All right, another T-Rex, but this one is red. That's really cool. This is a much brighter T-Rex than the other ones we have, and it's still got those giant teeth. You better watch out. Here's an interesting looking dinosaur. This is a Sarcophagus. It looks kind of like an alligator, don't you think? It's got a huge mouth full of teeth. Here's another bright dinosaur. This looks like it's a hybrid between maybe a Stegosaurus and a Triceratops. What do you think? Ooh, look at that gold along its spine and the gold on the horns too, and a little bit of battle damage. Let's keep digging for some big dinosaurs. I think I got a few more huge dinosaurs in here. Let's see. Oh, here's a big one. All right, a Stegosaurus. Really cool coloring with the green and the brown, so it helps camouflage it into the jungle. And it's got an action button too. You can see there's a button up here, and when you press that, it swings its mighty spikes on its tail back and forth. You better stay out of the way. Ooh, look at this. We've got a huge winged dinosaur right here. And look at the realism with its coloring too. And on its face too. Look at all that yellow and orange mixed in with the brown. That is a super detailed face. And it's even got some little teeth in its mouth too. And right over here, we've got a Pachycephalosaurus. Wow, look at this, and look at the super hard shell on its head to protect it for when it's headbutting people. Look at this one. This one looks a little friendly, don't you think? This is an Amargasaurus, and it's got 2 action buttons. The first one moves its neck up and down, and the second action button moves its tail. That is cool. I really like the spines all along its back, and look at that orange too. That is really neat. All right, check this out. We've got a little Indominus Rex right here, and it comes with the battle damage as well that you can open and close. I think this must be a hybrid, maybe a T-Rex of some type. Maybe it's a hybrid with a Dilophosaurus, because it's got those winged frill things in the front. But this is a super bright T-Rex. And when you move its tail, it can open and close its mouth. And we've got another super bright dinosaur. I think this is a Spinosaurus, but the coloring is obviously different than a normal Spinosaurus. It's mostly blue with the battle damage on the side, and it's got that super bright red spine with the black stripes. All right, next up, we've got a Parasaurolophus. Did you know that these dinosaurs might have been able to breathe fire? We're not entirely sure, but can you imagine if these things were able to spit fire? That's amazing. This is the Majungasaurus. Look at all those spikes everywhere. It's bumpy all along its back. It's got these things underneath its neck as well. All right, check out this Ankylosaurus. And look at that action move right there too. I bet it could defend really well against a Velociraptor. Look at that. Oh no, he's fighting him. And he's got that huge protective shell all along the top and those spikes on the side too. This is the Seats Micororum. Look at those rows of teeth. It's even got an extra row of just like one giant tooth right there. I bet that helps it out while it's eating. And look at all these spikes along its back as well. You better watch out for this dinosaur in the wild. Next up, we've got a Pentaceratops. Look at those 5 horns on the front. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5. This is the Edmontosaurus. Did you know that these dinosaurs could walk on either all 4 legs or just 2? Check this out. This is a Baryonyx. It's got an action button on its back. Let's see what that does. Cool, it comes with sound effects too. Let's play that again. And over here, we've got another Sarcophagus. Check this out. This one has different coloring though. You can see it's got purple, and then the orange and red speckles on the side, and then the blue body. And then once again, this huge mouth full of teeth. And here is a tiny little Triceratops. It's still got those huge horns in the front though. You don't want to mess with those. And this dinosaur has the battle damage as well. All right, we've got another Pachycephalosaurus. And just like the other one, it's got that super hard shell of a head so it can ram into other dinosaurs. And over here, we've got some of my favorite dinosaurs, the Velociraptors. Got a yellow one right here, very adjustable, its mouth opens and closes. And then we've got a brown one as well. Its mouth opens and closes as well. These are really cool dinosaurs, but I wouldn't want to meet them in the wild, that's for sure. We've got some more big dinosaurs in here. Check out this huge Allosaurus. That is a super ferocious looking dinosaur. And we've actually got another one right here. And this one has a different action button. You can slide it up and down. And it's got a bunch of different roar sound effects for it. And look at those teeth and the horns too. This is a super mean looking dinosaur. And over here we've got, well, I'm not sure what kind of dinosaur this is actually. It looks kind of like a Carnotaurus because it's got those horns, but the rest of its body doesn't look quite like a Carnotaurus. Let me know in the comments, do you know what kind of dinosaur this is? And this dinosaur actually has battle damage too, so you can take off parts and reveal its bones underneath. That is super cool. All right, we're nearing the end here, but we got a few more. This is a Stygimoloch, and it's got that hard head so it can headbutt other dinosaurs, but it's also got these horns up top for defense as well. Better watch out, here is another Velociraptor. Everyone look out. Oh no. Let's see. Oh, here is our last land dinosaur of the bin. This is a Herrerasaurus. Look at that long mouth with all those teeth. And this dinosaur has the battle damage too. That is amazing. All right, here are our final 3 dinosaurs of this giant haul. First off, we've got a Pteranodon. Look at the coloring on its wings, and there's a button that you can press to make it flap its wings. Then we've also got a Dimorphodon, and look at those bright orange and red colored wings on the bottom. And finally, we've got this. I think it's a Dimorphodon, but I'm not actually sure. Comment below if you know what type of dinosaur this is. Today, I'm showing you all of my T-Rex figures from biggest to smallest, so let's jump in. My first biggest T-Rex is this Super Colossal T-Rex from Jurassic World. This T-Rex has a bright orange body with a darker brown top. And just like all my Super Colossal figures, it can swallow miniature dinosaurs down its throat to the stomach compartment that you can open it up. My next biggest T-Rex is this Super Colossal Jurassic Park T-Rex. This is actually from Jurassic World Dominion. It has a much darker body. It's got black on top, brown on the sides, and a lighter underbelly. It's got a huge jaw, and this figure can also swallow miniature dinosaurs and open them up in the stomach compartment. Next up, we've got a Jurassic Park T-Rex. I believe this T-Rex was called the Bull T-Rex. And this figure too can swallow miniature dinosaurs and other small stuff, and you can empty it out in the stomach compartment. Right on top here, we've got the Hammond Collection Tyrannosaurus Rex. This figure has some of the coolest coloring out of all the T-Rexes that I have, and it is remarkably adjustable too. You can bend the legs in all different directions, at the knees, at the ankles. You can bend the arms, you can twist the neck, and you can open the mouth, of course. Next, I've got this huge Jurassic World T-Rex with this ginormous head. This figure has the black top and brown sides, just like the Super Colossal T-Rex from Jurassic World Dominion. And this T-Rex can be controlled by moving the tail around. Back here, we've got, I believe, what is called the Terran T-Rex or something like that. The special feature on this T-Rex is the tearing action with its mouth. It swings its head around and closes it at the same time. And it's got a secondary action button to swing the tail around too. This T-Rex, also from Jurassic World, is a stompin' T-Rex. When you twist the tail, it stomps its legs up and down. And it has those cool sound effects too. Plus, as you notice with the cage, it actually breaks free from the cage just by pressing the button on its back. That is pretty cool. Here we've got another Jurassic Park T-Rex. So this is a very old figure. It's got the rubber body, and with this T-Rex figure, you can move the tail to swing the head back and forth. So it's not as advanced as the new Jurassic World T-Rexes, but it's still pretty cool. We've got tons more T-Rexes to go. Let's keep digging. This huge T-Rex with similar coloring as the first Super Colossal T-Rex that we saw has some pretty cool functions. When you swing the tail, it swings its head back and forth, and it has a roar function when you move the tail, and a chomping action. All just by moving the tail. That is pretty cool. Over here, we've got a darker gray colored T-Rex with some brown on the top. This is also by Jurassic World, and you can twist the neck around, you can open the jaw, there's a button on top, activate the chomping, and you can swivel the tail around and move the legs as well. I think this one's bigger than the rest of them. This T-Rex has one of my favorite functions. It's actually battery operated, so that when you press the button on its tail, it opens its mouth and shakes. It actually has a motor in it to do that, which is pretty cool. Plus, you can move the tail around to swing its neck around to look. That's really cool. This T-Rex was custom colored a long time ago. It's got the bright green on the side, and it's got like camo colors and black all over the rest of its body with the lighter underbelly. And just like that bright orange T-Rex we saw just a second ago, you can control chomping and roaring with this figure just by moving the tail around. Next up, we've got a light brown T-Rex from Jurassic World. This is very similar in function to the darker gray figure that we just saw. It has the chomping button on the top of its head. You can move its neck around, and you can adjust the rest of its body parts too. This is the extreme battle damage T-Rex from Jurassic World. It's got some different patterning along the top of its body compared to the rest of them, but the most important part is the battle damage on both sides that you can press this button up top to turn it on and off. Plus, the rest of the figure is very adjustable as well. Here's another T-Rex with some battle damage on it. It doesn't have the extreme battle damage on the side that you can turn on and off, but it does have these slashes all over its body, even its legs and its tail too. The rest of the figure is very adjustable, and of course, the button at the top of the head for chomping. Next up, we've got another custom colored T-Rex. This one is a super bright red color. Looks kind of like fire in my opinion, and it's got the black on the top and the orange striping right along the sides. And this figure is adjustable just like many of the other figures that I've shown so far too. Next up, we've got another bright orange T-Rex with the brown top. This figure is fully adjustable throughout its body, and it's got the chomp button at the top of its head. Here's one of my favorite T-Rexes. This is a dark green color, and I'm not sure that I have any other green colored T-Rexes in my collection, so this one's pretty special to me. It's also got the black detailing along the top, and its body is fully adjustable with the legs, tail, arms, and neck, and there's the button at the top of its head for chomping. Let's keep going. We still got quite a few T-Rexes to go. This T-Rex is from the old Jurassic World toy line. It's got a rubberized neck, so it's a bit flexible there, as well as the rubberized tail. And it has a chomping action with the tail. Now we're getting down to some slightly smaller T-Rex figures. This is a Jurassic World T-Rex, and it is actually a hybrid. It's got some spikes on the top of its head that you can push down and activate them by pressing the button on its back. Here is another custom colored T-Rex from the old Jurassic World toy line. It is bright red in color with black spots all over and the yellow underbelly. And it also has a chomping action on its back. Here's another similar T-Rex from the old Jurassic World toy line. This T-Rex is light tan in color all over its body. It's a little bit lighter on its belly. And just like the other two that we just saw, it has the chomping action button on its back. All right, this next T-Rex is a little bit smaller. This is a Jurassic Park T-Rex. I believe it's a juvenile T-Rex, and it's actually got some battle damage right on the side. Next up, we've got a new Jurassic World Dominion figure. This, I believe, is the Sound Surge T-Rex. It's pretty small in size, and you have to open and close its jaw manually, but it does come with some awesome sound effects. And we've got some model T-Rexes in here. I'm not sure what brand this is from, and you can't move any of the limbs or the jaw on this figure, but it's got the dark brown coloring. It's got some interesting shading and black stripes all over its body. Here is another dark brown model T-Rex, but on this one you can open and close its jaw. It's also got the black stripes and the lighter underbelly too. Check out that little bit of yellow right there on its nose. It's interesting. Here is a dark green model T-Rex. This one, you cannot move any of its body parts, so it is standing in this awesome roaring pose, just like I'm sure you've seen in the movies. Here is a bright orange or red model T-Rex. With this figure, you can open and close the jaw, check out all those little teeth, and this figure looks quite a bit more muscular than a lot of the T-Rexes, I will say. Here is a super bright model T-Rex. It's got the bright blue along the top of its body, as well as the gold stripes. It's got a gray underbelly and some teal coloring right along its face. Here is a darker model T-Rex. I love the attention to detail with the skin. It's like you can see all these little bumps all over its body. It's got the black stripes as well, and on this model you can open and close its mouth. Here is a super striped T-Rex. This has some really bold black stripes right along the top of its body, while the rest of its body is this soft tan or orange color. And it's got some super bright yellow eyes too. And unfortunately, you cannot move any of the body parts on this model. Next up, we've got a light green colored T-Rex with some darker shading and detailing along its body. You can see those bumps right along its spine. And this figure does not have any moving parts either, so it is stuck in this roaring pose. We've got some even smaller T-Rexes in here. Here is a Jurassic World T-Rex that is pretty small. It's probably 7 inches from tail to the nose, and it fits easily in my hand. It's got some battle damage on the side, and the tail controls the jaw and face. We've actually got a few more Jurassic World T-Rexes just like that last one. This first one is actually a hybrid T-Rex. It is a hybrid with a Dilophosaurus, as you can tell by these huge frills in the front. It's still got the battle damage on the side, and it's got this reflective gold along the top of its body and the very front too. And this T-Rex has a bright green body. It's got the battle damage on the side still, and some darker detailing right along its face. This T-Rex figure is from Jurassic Park, so this is a super old figure. It's got some interesting purple detailing along the top. It's got a tan body, and actually, this figure has a unique feature on the leg. You can actually bend it like that, because it is a broken leg for this T-Rex. Right over here, we've got another juvenile T-Rex. This one has a bandage on its leg and the restraint on its mouth, so it can't bite people. It is super bright green with some cool detailing along the back and is very adjustable with all of its limbs too. This baby T-Rex is also from Jurassic World. It is bright green or yellow in color with some detailing along the top, and when you pull down on the tail, it chomps its jaws shut. All right, we've got some super small T-Rexes in here. I believe this one is from Jurassic World. I'm not sure actually, but they are both brown in color. This one is very adjustable. You can even move the tail around, you can move the legs and open and close the jaw. But this figure doesn't have any moving parts actually. And our last two T-Rexes of this collection from biggest to smallest. We've got a bright blue T-Rex with black stripes and no movable body parts. And this T-Rex here, you can move the legs, you can twist the tail around, and you can open and close the jaw too. Want to see more dino videos? Click the subscribe button now.